don't know what to tell you, it just works. Hey everybody, it's Melissa here, the Unlikely Hiker. A few weeks ago, could have been a month ago at this point, SoutherHike totally stole my idea for cheap backpacking gear that is good. So he said, hey, do your video anyway. So it gets super expensive to get into backpacking, but you don't have to drop a ton of money for some good gear. I have a couple of unusual items in here, but I'm just gonna go through a few things that I think are really great buys. I might not have the prices on some of these things because I've had them for so long, but I will do my best to find them and put them in the description for you in case you want to check it out. Most of these things I've had for quite a while. Let's dig in and see what we have. One of the first things I have is this 3-pack of dry sacks from Walmart. I think they're outdoor product brand, so the Walmart brand. It's like 10 bucks for these. They work really well. I've had these bags for probably 3, if not 4 years. They look brand new. I use the yellow one sometimes for a food bag. I'll use the red one sometimes for like a cook kit, blue one sometimes for a water bag, you know, to put my water filter in. But these things are great, and I think it's $10 for the 3-pack. This is another great little item, the Nitecore NU 25 headlamp. Comes in 3 different colors. It's lightweight. It's about $35 or $36 on Amazon, and this thing has yet to fail me. I have one for skiing and one for backpacking. Sometimes when I'm backpacking, I do bring both so that I have a backup headlamp. The batteries on these, I have yet to have the battery die on one of these. I do try and stay on top of it. When I go out on a trip, I make sure all my things are charged, but this runs great, and it has a 5 lumen option, so at night you just don't need to use very much light at all, and it's plenty for sitting around camp. And it also has a red light option, and you can lock it so that it doesn't get turned on in your backpack. This next thing is one of those things that you would not normally think of. This is shelf liner. Sometimes when I'm backpacking and I want to bring as light of gear as possible, I use this to sit on. So instead of bringing my Z-Lite Z-Seat, I just bring this thin little thing. It only weighs practically nothing, and it works. And this is just one little cut up piece. You could also use this under your sleeping pad if you wanted a little extra warmth, which would also keep your sleeping pad in place in your tent. And I have also used one of these, a larger version for the dog for her side of the tent. These are like little generic down booties on Amazon. These things are great. You don't want to wear these out in the snow, but if you're sleeping in your tent in the cold weather and your toes get cold like mine, these are absolutely fantastic. A little collapsible cup from Walmart, like 2 bucks. I don't need to say anything else about that. Another Walmart find here, the good old bandana. You can use this for anything. You could use it as a hat. You could be a cowboy. You could use this as a tourniquet. I'm not gonna put a tourniquet on myself, but yeah, seriously, you could actually use this as a tourniquet in case of emergency. You can use it to pick up hot items. You could use it to dry off the inside of your tent if you've got some condensation. You can use this for a million things. You could use it as a pee rag. You could use it as a washcloth or to clean your pots and pans as long as you didn't pee on it first. Yeah. Million uses right here. For those ultralight trips where you just don't want to bring a rain jacket and it's summertime and you know you're just gonna sweat anyway, another Walmart find, the $1 rain poncho. Actually disposable. This is just thin plastic. I have used these for skiing more than I have used them for backpacking, but if I am traveling ultralight, this little thing will go in my pack and it weighs nothing. And I suppose in an emergency, you could put this on and stay under it in a storm, and this could be your shelter too. So $1, literally $1. Again, do I need to say more? Yet another thing you could find at Walmart here, or you might actually already have in your house, is a very thick contractor bag. So you could use this, you can climb inside like a sleeping bag if you needed to climb inside something and get out of the elements. You could make this into a shelter. You could make this into a poncho. Again, if I'm traveling light and I don't want to bring my emergency bivvy, although I do have emergency blankets, this is already enclosed with one side open, so I can climb inside of it, or I could put my gear inside of it and just twist the top and make sure my gear doesn't get rained on. You could use it as a ground cloth. You could sit on it. A million uses. A box of these costs what? I don't know how much a box of these costs. So here's one, and I'll probably use this for years. I've already had it for a couple years and never used it yet, but that doesn't mean I won't use it, but I carry it. You could make a tent out of this too. Check out Adventures with Spackman. He does some great stuff with dollar store products, and he's really amusing. A Lowe's or Home Depot find, Reflectix. So this you can make into a pot koozie. This piece right here I will actually put in my pack again when I'm traveling very light. If I want to have something to sit on, I can put this under my sleeping pad for a little extra warmth. You could put your stove on top of it and cook on top of this if you wanted to keep your stove off of the snow. I have a bunch of these cut up in different sizes. I've actually used these when I did the Great Range Traverse. I actually used a torso size one of these as my sleeping pad. No, it was not incredibly comfortable, but I was warmer than I would have been had I not had it, and I was trying to travel as light as possible. So this actually did work. Don't dismiss it as cheap gear. The Trekology pillow. This is the older one. I've had this for quite a while. They have one now with a better valve and a strap on it, which I would highly recommend the newer one with the strap on it. But this pillow gets the job done. It's not the most comfortable pillow, but it is very affordable, and it comes with features that you would want. So it's definitely worth a look. I have yet to puncture this thing. I usually carry this as my second pillow, so I have a pillow for under my legs, and it has not let me down yet. I bought this years ago, Mountainsmith Shelter LT. This is a non-freestanding tarp style shelter with doors. I like to use this for winter camping, believe it or not, because I'm sleeping right on the snow, and if it's super, super cold out, you dig a little hole, you can pee in the hole, and then you can just cover it up. I know that's way too much information for you, but you have to think about things that, never mind, just edit that out. This cost me a little over $100. It is a large two-person shelter. It is tarp style, so you don't have a floor, there is no bug mesh. So it is what it is, but it works really good if you've got pets, dogs that you don't want destroying your tent. This is a really good option. And bonus, the stuff sack has the directions on how to set it up. So it makes it actually idiot-proof. I have used this tarp in, I think it was like 60-mile-an-hour winds on a winter trip with a friend a handful of years ago, and this thing held up like a champ. It held up absolutely perfect, and it uses 2 trekking poles to set up. And finally, we've got the Klymit, what is it? This is the Klymit Insulated Static V sleeping pad. This was my very first sleeping pad. I bought it on eBay. It was refurbished, and I paid like 40 bucks for it. But I still use this in my car when I'm sleeping in the truck. No particular reason on that, it's just when I use it. My cat has punctured this numerous times. It has numerous repairs, and yet it still holds up. I used this for 2 weeks traveling around the country from New York to North Carolina, out to Colorado and back home. Not once did I have a problem with this. It's gotta be like, gosh, this thing's gotta be like 9 years old, 8 years old. It's been around forever. But I still like it. It's super comfortable, and now they're starting to sell these at Walmart, but I think it's the uninsulated. It's a green one. I think it's the uninsulated Static V, but it's a little heavy. It's a little bit wider though. It's a 23-inch wide pad, so some people might find that more comfortable. And the weight, it's pretty heavy. It's 25 ounces, but if you're just getting into backpacking, this is a super comfortable pad. It is insulated, so it keeps you a little bit warmer. It's a little bit wider, and this is just a really sturdy option. And this was a refurb. This wasn't even brand new. So really happy with the Klymit Static V. I couldn't even tell you how much I paid for this. I think it was 40 bucks. That's all I got for you today. Those are some of my favorite things that I use all the time. Like I said, some of them are just things you have around the house, but they really make some good backpacking gear choices that are affordable, especially if you're just getting into backpacking. I hope that this was helpful. If you've got anything that you use that maybe I missed here, or maybe I don't know about or haven't thought about, drop it in the comments. Let me know. I'd like to hear from you. Take care. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.